So Arnav, welcome to this debriefing session, and congratulations on scoring a 710. It's an incredible improvement, a 160-point improvement, or rather, 140-point improvement from a 570, which was there in 2017. So how does it feel?
It's good. It's a relief. Yeah.
It's a relief. I know. I can imagine that when you've been doing it for such a long time that you really want to get done with it, and that's great. But good improvement, V40 on verbal after a V27 is really good. So, Arnav, let's talk about your GMAT journey, and you were talking about how you prepared in 2017, and and so you took the first attempt in 2017. You joined a local coaching institute. How much effort did you put in then?
I tried to put, initially it was good. I attended the classes. I used to do whatever homework and all that they had given. But the approach that they had taken, I really could not connect with it. And they kept on changing the trainers, which was another backdrop because every new trainer had a new approach. And basically, we were deviating away from the syllabus more and more. So, and since I had to go to a particular center, that they really didn't work out with a full-time working person.
Okay. And when you went into this first exam, what was the score that you were expecting?
I was expecting around 650.
Okay. And why was that?
Overconfidence.
Okay. Well, that wasn't the score that he was getting in marks, though.
I hadn't taken any mocks. I just went ahead.
Okay.
I don't know. I thought that, okay, I'm good enough to get it. And because that was the level of the local coaching center, they had provided basically quite easy questions. They had not concentrated on 700 plus level questions. So I was under the impression that those easy questions are what GMAT is made of.
Okay. Tell me one other thing, Arnav. I mean, you are an analyst, right? You work in some way. I mean, even though you work for JP Morgan, you are a techie. You work for TCS in the past. So why did you choose a local coaching center? I mean, you're a technology savvy guy, is what I'm asking.
So that's what the norm is from starting from our engineering journey in class 12. We have always been under the impression that, okay, if you want to go to a training, you have to go to a center. That's what the normal understanding is. We don't really trust an online coaching. That's the general behavior. But after joining e-GMAT, I would say that taking an online course is much more effective than a classroom-based training because it gives you so much more privileges than a classroom-based training.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that. So let's talk about your second attempt now. So, or a second and third attempt because you've done 3 attempts overall. So you joined e-GMAT, then what happened? So how did you go about your preparation?
So when I joined e-GMAT, I just basically set to my mind that, okay, I'll completely invest myself and whatever e-GMAT, whatever approach they are taking, I'll just concentrate on that because you guys are the experts. I have to believe in you. So the approach, like the meaning-based approach, sentence correction, don't just go blindly by the rules of the grammar. Yes, that is important, but and there comes a time at 700 plus level questions where you really need to understand the question, and the grammar really won't help you much. So that approach, what I really liked is that the forum. Whenever I or other people have questions, I really didn't expect the responses and the help from the mentors to be so quick. I used to get a response within 12 hours. So that was really helpful for me to clear my doubts. And the forum had a vast variety of questions from other students. So I didn't really have to wait for anybody to get my doubts answered. So that was a really good help from e-GMAT. And like I said, the meaning-based approach, understanding the question first instead of jumping onto the answers, what we usually tend to do. those were really few things that I still remember and helped me the most from
Okay.
the GMAT.
Okay. So as you progress through the course, were you tracking your scores?
Yes, so I started giving the mock test on my second attempt. I started giving mock test around a month back, and I was towards the end. I was really scoring good. I was getting 720, 700 level in the mocks.
Okay.
Uh, so basically, I was prepared, but on the day of the examination, under pressure, I just cracked and I just blanked out. I could not think anything. So that's why I think was the reason for my low score.
Okay.
But preparation was I was ready. I did not concentrate much on the scholaring that time.
Mm-hmm.
But before my third attempt, I really exploited that feature, and it really helped.
Okay. How did it help?
So basically, if you are going with a mock test, it will give you questions from the entire syllabus, but you cannot really upskill on a particular topic through mock tests. And I don't think at least I did not get any other tests or forums in GMAT Club which would take this kind of approach.
Mm.
It was Solidarium was time. The exam could not be paused, which
Mm.
was actually it is a great help even if we think it is a difficulty because we do have a tendency in our normal life that we will pause and do some other work and that really does not help and that will not replicate the exact GMAT environment. So a particular topic based uh, mocks you can call it in Scholarium
Mm-hmm.
that really help in upskilling on a particular topic on which we might have been lagging.
So which topics did you face problems?
Mainly it was RC and
Okay.
CR. CR I was able to what to say understand quite quickly, and I upskilled in that quite quickly. But RC was a point because we are given the new uh, format of the GMAT, the RC questions have increased considerably. At least
Mm.
5 or 6 at least questions will be there, and getting them done in time. The Solarium basically offers that time uh, approach.
Okay. So as you use Scholarinium, how did your scores? I mean, how did you use it? What were your startings? Do you remember what are some of your starting ability numbers or accuracy numbers? And then as you use more and more, how did you improve on that?
Starting accuracy was less than 20%. I was devastated. So because I was really not used to being in a timed environment only for RC.
Mm-hmm.
And Scholaranium will really test you because in GMAT you might get 5 or 6 RC in a whole 1 hour time frame. But
Mm-hmm.
here you will get half an hour to solve the same number of questions approximately. So
Mm-hmm.
that will really put you under pressure and that will really actually increase your comprehension and understanding of the passage and going through the answers, the questions quickly. So it was gradual. It was not something like it happens in a jump or it is very easy. So
Mm-hmm.
starting with under 20%, I slowly progressed to 40, 50, and then I went up to 80 to 90% in
Oh,
a
I can imagine that you are at 91 percentile right now on the
Okay.
official. So yes, but that's incredible. I mean, what's nice about this is you did not give up. You said, "I've got to use this tool," and and you improved. I mean, you tracked your improvement. I mean, you did what an analyst should do, is what I should say. So that's good job. I mean, I'm really glad that you persisted and persevered through this journey, and then the results show for it. That's really good. Um, in quant, which topic do you think was the most challenging for you after your first attempt? And you had a Q44, so there must have been some topics where weren't as comfortable.
I was not comfortable in number properties.
Okay.
I was never good at maths, I have to agree. Uh, but like they say, GMAT is not about math, it's quantitative reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
So then the concept presented in number properties. So basically, if I compare with my earlier classroom-based approach, they were more focused on so many more things which are really not part of the syllabus or are not the types of questions that GMAT will really ask. It is not about uh, doing mathematics and number of calculations, what the other classroom-based training institutes have seen. They usually tend to do all those things. But the GMAT approach is more of a quantitative reasoning. The concept presented in e-GMAT will really replicate what type of questions will come in GMAT.
Mm-hmm.
So that helps.
Okay. All right. I'm glad to hear that. And you also use scholarinium and quant to a certain degree. I've noticed that.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So yeah. So
Or,
basically, it presents a timed environment for particular topics. Uh, one can really grow in that particular topic if you're weak. So that.
okay. Now I want to ask you this. So uh, when you were preparing for the third time, did you have certain ability scores on the verbal and quant side that you were aiming for? I mean, did you have a plan in mind as to?
Uh, I Yes, I had basically a target of 700 plus, and on one particular webinar, I think it's a strategy webinar. I do not recollect.
Yeah, it's GMAT strategy webinar. Yes.
Yes. So there I was given the splits.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm strong in verbal, then what do I really need to bring in a quantitative to get to that score, and vice versa. So after attending that webinar, I was clear that I need to score at least a 38 in verbal, and that would require me to get a 50 or 51 in quant. But the other way around, if I can concentrate much more on verbal, if I get a 40, then 46 or 48, that should be sufficient.
Okay.
So yeah, that made me understand. I even contacted, I think, on the forum that what should I do. So I immediately got a response saying that if you are whatever is your strength, first we need to capitalize on that one. So I concentrated more on the verbal, and luckily I got a 48 in quantitative. So that's fine.
Yeah, and the nice thing about getting a 48 is, it puts you competitive for any business school. I mean, most business schools look for a 47 or higher. So 48 puts you in the right bucket and pretty much for pretty much every school out there. So, so Arnav, let's talk about your next steps. I mean, you're aiming for ISB, you're aiming for HEC Paris, INSEAD, and a couple of other schools. So how are you going about your application right now?
I am still shortlisting schools based on the average scores and just exploring the net, their rankings. So I understand that if my score is 710, that does not really guarantee that I can get into a college which has an average score of 710.
Yes.
So I am trying to basically, I've created three categories. Like one is the difficult ones where I might get into. One is the sure shot where I'll get into, and another one in which I will definitely get into. Those are the 650 or 670 range stuff.
Okay, that's good.
So ISP I have put because owing to the pool of the candidates, even 710 is it's just one of the factors of getting into ISP.
Yes.
So I have put ISP into the difficult one. I have put LBS somewhere in between sure shot and difficult. So I am still basically shortlisting. I gave you a few other colleges like NCR and LBS and NUS owing to the closeness to India. That's why I put NUS basically.
Okay. Okay. I would. I'm just looking at some of the macro dynamics which are happening this year, which is I need to get a bit more data, but you said ISB is a difficult one. And I'm not a super expert on IP and ISB. I know other people who are who know ISB inside out a lot more than I do. But given the dynamics in the industry, and given what I hear in the GMAT world, I think ISB should be is something which I won't say is easy for you, but I won't say it's a stretch for you either. So ISB should be possible.
I was saying because owing to my background, like I'm an engineer, male IT Indian engineer. That's what they say.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. But again, uh, um, uh, I think the work experience you have um, is a bit higher, first of all, in terms of number of years. So that does give you some this thing. Plus, if you position yourself well, I think it's a school which where really your performance on the day matters.
Okay.
So and your application matters. So how are you going about your application?
I am still trying to find a good consultant because this is a really completely new field for me. So I would not really trust myself in writing the essays. Yes, I will write the essays and the profile, but I would really need some help in editing. So I'm just trying to find a good compatibility in terms of the consultants.
Okay,
So
let me actually